About a year ago, I created a video theorizing that perhaps Zelda would perish in Tears of the Kingdom, at the time still known as Breath of the Wild 2. Even as I was creating the video, I thought it to be a kind of ridiculous idea. Little did I know other creators were thinking the same thing. In fact, it wasn't until very recently that I discovered Commonwealth Realm had already made a video theorizing on this idea 3 years ago. And I feel bad as I cannot remember if I never watched it or if I did watch it and just forgot. Nevertheless, in the past year, I have watched several theory videos and many of them have had that little bit of speculation that perhaps Zelda will not make it to the end of the game. Now, of course, in my theory, I was suggesting that she would come back and that it would just be a matter of sacrificing herself to restore the sword or some other means of restoring Hyrule. It wouldn't be the first time Zelda has sacrificed herself, but again, emphasizing that I thought it a little bit of a crazy idea and that even if it did happen, she would surely come back in the end. And I still pretty much hold to that thought. But back then, we only had 2 trailers, and I was basing this idea off of those 2 trailers. Ones that held very few scenes concerning Zelda. She was either traversing a cave with Link, or falling into the pit of that said cave. But here we are a year later and there are 2 more trailers. But you know what there's not more of? Zelda. Really just more of the same. Her falling into a chasm and Link desperately trying to save her. But you know who we have seen most recently? This woman. Who is she? Zelda seems like the obvious answer, and you know what? That might be my conclusion. But is it really? Hey y'all, I'm the Geek Apprentice and welcome to today's Tears of the Kingdom theory video, or I suppose more accurately, a speculation video. If you enjoy videos like this, consider giving it a thumbs up and joining the geekdom by subscribing. So who is this woman? As aforementioned, it is probably Zelda, but right from the get-go, it seems a little bit off considering what she's wearing. The outfit definitely bears resemblance to the white gown Zelda wore at the Spring of Wisdom on her 17th birthday, but in this case there are added accessories that look far more ancient. In fact, they quite resemble what that creepy figure is wearing in the murals we saw in the 3rd trailer. You know, the one that looks like she's next to what we assume to be Zelda at the end, joining hands in some sort of show of unity or pact. Of course, this figure is much taller and much creepier, so I'm not banking too much on that. Meaning to say, I'm not suggesting that this is that figure, rather that this woman's accessories resemble in style that of the figure. So perhaps it is just Princess Zelda, but in a different outfit, correct? Honestly, that's probably the most logical conclusion at the current, but my brain won't stop there. Do we know much of the story? No, we really don't know anything at this point. So again, I emphasize the fact that this is more speculation than it is even a theory. From what I have observed, it seems like Zelda probably will perish in some form or another, but perhaps be saved by the goddess whose blood she carries. Hylia. Stay with me here as Zelda created a wonderful theory video about this idea, and I think it holds a lot of water. He suggested that just as goddess Hylia was able to become human in the form of Zelda, then the reverse may also be true considering she carries the blood of the goddess, and in a way, is her? Most speculate that the Zeldas just carry the blood and are not constant reincarnations. Either way, she shares a part of the goddess. That much is 100% true. So could this woman be that fusion, that middle ground between goddess Hylia and Princess Zelda? This also could still be just Zelda, but with a much broader accessibility to her powers, much bigger than the way she had used previously. I know she said she felt as though her power was waning away at the end of Breath of the Wild, but that doesn't mean she couldn't regain its strength. It also makes me wonder if when she says, "Please lend him your power," which I had previously misheard and thought she said, "Lend me your power," that she is talking in fact to Goddess Hylia, asking for her intercession to help Link. Or she could be just talking to the gods in general, specifically the 3 golden goddesses. Again, lots and lots and lots of speculation here. Another thing to note is the landscape surrounding her. So not just who is she, but also where is she? We could guess at many things, such as it being somewhere on one of the Sky Islands, a temple of sorts, could even speculate that maybe it's a fountain in the background. But my bottom line for this is at the very least, it's somewhere sacred. So who is this woman? Probably Zelda. But in what way? Just normal Zelda in a different outfit? Zelda having unlocked a higher version of her powers and now in a much stronger role? Perhaps even working directly alongside the goddesses? Some sort of mix between the forms of Goddess Hylia and Zelda herself. In other words, not quite to the level of a direct incarnation, but definitely more than just carrying the blood of the goddess. Or is it a new manifestation of Goddess Hylia in the form of Zelda? That last one sounds the most unbelievable to me, as we already have Zelda herself, so why would we need another incarnation? But you see my point. Again, this is heavy speculation, and certainly definitely has hints of possibly making something out of nothing, making complicated what is probably obvious. But to me, that's part of the fun of watching these trailers and creating these videos. So yes, it probably is just Zelda, but with something fancier going on. I just can't shake the idea that she is going to perish and have to be quote-unquote resurrected in some miraculous way that will change her being. And that's what I think we are seeing here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section if you also think this is something other than just Zelda, or if you think the simplest answer is the best answer. I totally understand either way. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up, joining the Geekdom by subscribing, and also following me over on Instagram at The Geek Apprentice. Thank you so much to all of my patrons and channel members, especially those in the highly end tier over on Patreon, like Joking Batman, Lorulian Sheep, McToppler, and Geek Mom. Y'all are amazing. But anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.